Hello and welcome back to Through the Cubbyhole with me, Lauren. I've had an unintended break, but well-needed break, and I'm back today. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously you can actually see me, and wow, I am in my pajamas, sat on my living room floor with a blanket wrapped around me. Not an inch of makeup on my face. I'm just doing it as me basically today. But no one's actually ever asked me why I sit on my floor. I'm always sat on my floor, and I always think people must think it looks really weird. But it's basically because the lighting is the best in this room and my table isn't high enough to have a chair. So I'm sat on the floor, basically. But anyway, I hope everyone is well. Today's episode is going to be a Q&A. I popped a question box on my stories on Instagram a few days ago, and I'm just going to go through and answer a few of the questions that I got, just to do a little bit of a catch up. And then next week, fingers crossed, I'll be back with a guest episode. I'm back with a lot more episodes coming, basically. But yeah, I didn't mean to have such a long break, so I am back. Just gonna get my questions on Instagram. They're all here, so yeah, I'm gonna go through them one at a time and just do my best to answer them, basically. So yes, right. First one I'm gonna do is, why did you start your Instagram account? So I basically started it because I saw a few other home accounts. This was like 6-7 years ago now, and it wasn't such a big thing, and I followed two bigger accounts. So one was the Grey Home, which is Ashley, and she still has her account. I was following her, and I was following a lady called Adele. I think it was Home by Adele. I don't think she has her account anymore, but I followed them two, and I just love their accounts. And we were buying our first house, and I just thought, I'm going to give it a go. I didn't really think like too far into it or too far into the future or really think about the content. I just literally thought, I'm going to share my house like they do. Like, I just thought this would be quite interesting. I love interiors and I was really excited to decorate our house. So that is basically why I started the account in the first place. I just thought, oh my God, like they're doing that. I love their account. My account was nowhere near as aesthetic or as interesting as theirs, but I just wanted to give it a go for that reason. Then I have, what's your next home project? So our next home project, I'm not entirely sure. I have a couple of things that I want to do. I've been working a lot on our garden this spring, and I've been doing like a garden series I've absolutely loved, like just showing step by step, and really like it's helped me to stay accountable for doing our garden and getting our garden spring summer ready, because gardening isn't my favourite thing, but obviously when the weather's nice and we have got a nice sized garden, it's like a shame to not use it and to not make the most of it. So yeah, it's really held me accountable this year, actually, doing this garden series, like to get things done. But I would say our next projects, I would really like to tackle our porch. Our porch is teeny weeny, it's tiny, but it just looks like it's not really part of the house, where nothing's been done. All I've done to that little space is I've just repainted it white. It was already white, but I just freshened it up. And we used to have like black tiles on the floor, and I literally painted them like a beigey cream colour. That's all we've done, but I would like to like add some paneling in there just to sort of bring it into the house a little bit more, add a little bit of green in there obviously, and just make it a little bit more of a space. I'd really like to do that. And then the other project I have is our downstairs bathroom, shower room. I always get told off for what everyone I call it, but that I've never really loved that room. It's nice, it's a nice room. I'm not like, I don't hate the choices that I made, but I probably wouldn't make the same choices now. It was probably one of the first rooms that we done, so I just want to add a little bit more of my style now into it, add a little bit more greenery, add a little bit more like warmth to it with some like wood tones. And I would like to paint it, repaint it, just keep it really nice and bright still, but maybe just go a little bit darker on the paneling, a little bit warmer on the walls, just to make it a little bit more my style now. And then I really just want to give the kitchen a nice paint, fresh lick of paint, because it's looking a little bit skanky pants around like the cooker, and like there's just like them normal kitchen messes and stains and stuff up the walls. So I would like to do that, but I would say I don't know which one our next project is. I'm not sure. There's just so much going on at the moment with like wedding planning and all of that stuff, that yeah, I haven't really got a plan as to what is the next project, but it'll be one of them three, I think. Then, because I mentioned wedding, I had one saying, are you ready for your wedding? No. The answer is no. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a really exciting time, a really exciting lead up. I'm going on my abroad hen in a couple of weeks, which I'm really excited about. But I feel like I'm just concentrating on that at the moment. I'm not really thinking about the wedding and the fact that I am DIYing all of the decor myself, and I haven't done any of it. Once we get back from my hen, literally like 2 weeks later, we've got 3 months of the wedding, and I really need to get sorted. It's not even like I have the stuff either. I haven't even ordered the stuff. I really, really need to get sorted because, yeah, I'm just leaving it all. So I wouldn't say I'm ready. I'm ready in the sense of like everything's booked, but I'm not ready in the sense of like nothing's been made. I still get to pay everybody, and you know what I mean, all them like stressful jobs that I don't want to be doing a couple of weeks for the wedding. I want to get like cracking and get sorted with it. So yeah, I'm definitely not sorted, but pending. And then just a little extension off of that one, just to get it done. Where are you going on your honeymoon? So we haven't actually booked a honeymoon yet. We have booked a mini moon. We are going to Mallorca just for 3 or 4 days as like a celebration, mainly because I had flights that we needed to move. So we decided to do that. And then hopefully the plan is to go to Italy. We love Italian food and we've never been to Italy before, and we would just love to go there. So the plan would be maybe to go and do a few areas, maybe do a lake, maybe do like a couple of places like the Amalfi Coast, maybe go to Capri, or yeah, I'm not really sure on exactly where, but we would like to do like 3 places in Italy. But there's no plans yet, as in like when that's going to be. But that is the plan eventually, to go to Italy for our honeymoon. So I have these questions. So this is a hard one, but I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it a go. Do you recommend moving to the UK for foreigners? If so, where is the most welcoming? So this is a really hard one to answer actually, because I just feel like the UK is in a very funny space at the moment. I love living in the UK. I love it. It's my home. It's where I've been born and bred and brought up and everything, and I love it. And I always love when I've been away, coming home. It's just them home comforts. And all in all, I think we're extremely lucky to live in the UK. Like if you live here, I think we're very, very lucky. And sometimes I think maybe we don't know how lucky we are. But I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't know if there are other places that are better to live in, because I obviously haven't lived there. Like I know a lot of people like go to places like Australia and New Zealand, and it's like a very different sort of way of life. But I do love the UK, and there's so many areas and so many places that I've never even been in the UK, which is really quite sad. I'm like in the southeast. I'm like literally like 30-40 minutes from London. I don't think you can go wrong with London. I think London, for like access to things, there's so much going on. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot of community. Like I just think, yeah, London is an amazing place for a lot of reasons. But it's really hard because I would say that Southerners, and this is coming from a Southerner, that we are not the friendliest, especially sort of like London, near London. I feel like everyone's like very busy, like moving forward, like not thinking about anyone around you. You're just like focused. Like I feel like if someone makes eye contact with me, like if I'm like in London, I'm like, oh, don't look at them. Like it's really silly actually. But I would just say we're not as friendly as like say Northerners. Like my nan and granddad lived in Liverpool, so we used to go to Liverpool a lot. Like to me, like Scousers are so friendly, and like Northerners are so friendly. And when you go like out of like the southeast, and especially up north, like I think people are a lot more chatty and friendly, and will talk to you in the street or will talk to strangers. It's not always like that in the south and the southeast. Not always, sometimes. But in general, I think it's just they're very different places to live, and there's different things that go on, and there's all these different aspects and things to think of. So it's a really hard question, and I probably answered it terribly. But personally, I love living in the UK. There's a lot of improvements that it could make, and not everyone is going to be lovely, but I just think that goes for anywhere. in the country, in the world, you're going to have good people, bad people. But all in all, I think the UK, I think it offers a lot. There's so much. I think we're incredibly lucky to live in the country that we live in for so many reasons, despite the reasons that sometimes it's not the greatest place at times. There could be improvements, but I'm sure anyone in the world, in any country, whatever country they live in, they could come up with things that they love and then they don't love as much. But yeah, I hope that was a good answer to the question because I did my best. So I've got a favourite fruit, which is a really random one, but I would probably say my favourite fruit is mango and or strawberries. And I'm just mainly thinking about that because I love a strawberry daiquiri and I love a mango daiquiri. They're my favourite alcoholic drinks. So I would say they're my favourite. They're just nice, aren't they? Like just a nice juicy mango, nice ripe strawberry, can't really go wrong. So yeah, I would say them. Then I've got not a home question, but just wondering how you are doing after your operation. So I'm doing a lot better after my operation in some ways. So for those who are completely out of the loop, very, very quickly, I basically found out that I had cysts on my ovaries. The cysts grew quite large. The cysts were because I have endometriosis, quite a severe endometriosis that causes cysts. And the cysts cause lots and lots of horrible symptoms. And I had an operation in September to remove them and clear the endometriosis and just try and get me feeling better. And I would say, like, in general, like, I am feeling a lot better. But in the last couple of months, my periods have not been great. And at a recent scan, they sort of said that the endometriosis is come back, it's growing back. So yeah, I'm hoping there'll be no like big cysts or anything like that, like touch wood, but the endometriosis is there, which is something that I'm going to deal with. It's a chronic diagnosis that this is me now, which is obviously really frustrating. And last week when I was on my period, it was a really tough few days, but I've learned to deal with that, and I've learned to not punish myself, because there's 2 days specifically that are extremely uncomfortable, and I just allow myself now to just take them 2 days off, because to do anything while I feel that way, it's not worth it, because whatever I'm going to do is never going to be 10% of what I would do if I was doing it when I felt well. So it's something I live with now, and it's not great. And if you have it yourself, or you know someone who has it, then you'll know that it's not just something that's like a period related thing. It goes beyond that. But yeah, I'm feeling better in a lot of ways since the operation. It's taken all them horrible symptoms I had when I had the cyst, but the endometriosis symptoms are there. They're lingering, and I'm hoping they just linger and they don't get worse. But yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you for asking. Then I've got one to say, what book would you recommend reading? So I share a lot about the books that I'm reading on my social media, because I basically started reading when I was in recovery from my operation, and I haven't been able to put a book down since. I am just constantly like on to the next. I've been reading a lot of Colleen Hoover, which I absolutely love her writing. Like, I love her books, some more than others. My top recommendation, I have a few. I would say for sure Verity. Verity is an amazing book. And the film is coming out next year, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. It's going to be like so good. But I think my favourite has to be Hopeless. Hopeless is just, I couldn't put it down. I fell in love with the characters. The characters are just everything. Like, I just, completely fell in love with the characters. It's got an amazing storyline, a very deep storyline, and it sort of goes places you don't really think it's going to go. And the love story in it is just beautiful. And I've been told before reading books, like, will you just wait, when you get to this point you're gonna cry, blah blah blah. Like, I'm not a crier, like I don't really cry a lot, so if I cry, like, you know it's something. But I actually cried reading parts apart in particular of Hopeless, and I never cry, like, especially over books, like, I just wouldn't. But that, like, it's honestly, it's amazing, and I really really recommend reading Hopeless. Like, you'll love it. If you love Colleen Hoover as well, it's, yeah, definitely one of her best ones. And yeah, I'd say Verity as well, but yeah, I think Hopeless has to be my favourite out of them all at this point. But yeah, that is one I would recommend reading. What's your dream collab? So this is really hard to answer because I feel like I've worked with so many amazing brands already that I, like, pinch myself that I've worked with them, and I've got brands that I am currently working with that are amazing. And yeah, I'm, like, grateful for every single brand that I get to work with. Like, it's incredible. Like, I never thought I would do this. The dream. So I actually worked with two dream brands last year, and I worked with one of the brands again this year. But I think for me, one that feels, and I'm going to say that actually it feels quite out of reach. So this is why I'm saying it's a dream brand that I would, and the dream collab is because right now it feels very out of reach for me. So who knows if it will ever happen, but this, for me, I'd be over the moon if I could work with HomeSense, like TK Maxx, HomeSense, because I love interiors. HomeSense is one of my favourite interior shops. I love them all because if you love interiors, you'll just love every single interior shop. But HomeSense, I love HomeSense because everything's different all the time. Everything's new all the time. Like, it's never the same, and that's what I really really love. And you see some really, like, one-off pieces. Like, it's so affordable as well, and I love affordable interiors. That's what I share a lot on my accounts, and that's what I buy. So yeah, I think HomeSense for me would be a dream collaboration. And then the last one I'm going to do is, how do you plan your week? So I am all about writing things down. I'm all about a notebook and pen and ticking things off. So I actually try and sit down either on a Sunday before the week starts or on a Monday, and I write my plan for the whole week. Like, everything, like, even down to reading, washing my hair, putting washing machine on, cleaning the house, washing the bedding, whatever it might be. I write it down on a list and do it day by day, Monday to Sunday, write it in. I even draw the little boxes, and then I tick things off, cross things off when they're done, move things. If I don't do things on certain days, I will move them across and move them round. I plan all of my content, like what I'm going to do for content. Whatever it is that I'm doing, even if I'm meeting a friend or whatever it is I'm doing, goes on a list, and that is how I plan my weeks and plan my content and everything. I have to, because I don't have a diary. I try to keep things in my head, but my head overruns, and so I have to just put it down on a piece of paper. No fancy phone lists or whatever, just nice notepad and pen, and then I go through and I tick it off as I go. Basically, that is what I do, and that is how I plan my week, and it's working for me. So that is it for the Q&A. I managed to get most of them done. There was a few that I didn't, so maybe I'll add them to another one. I might try and do these every, 3 or 4 months, or the next one will be 3 months, will be like the wedding. Oh God. But anyway, that is it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed a little catch up. As I said, I am going to be back on it a little bit better. I may have a week off when I am on my abroad hen, just because I don't want any distractions. I want to be completely in the moment. I don't want to think about, I'm going to have to put out my podcast, or do you know what I mean? I don't want to think anything. I just want to be there enjoying myself. So there may be another week where there isn't anything, but yeah, I am back other than that, and should be back next week with a guest episode, which I know that you love and I love too, catching up with my fellow home content creators and talking all about their beautiful homes and their accounts. And yeah, I absolutely love doing them. So yes, if you are listening on Spotify, please like and follow the podcast. I'd really appreciate it. What did I say? Follow and like? No, that's not right. Please follow and rate. See, because I haven't done this for a long time. Please follow and rate if you are listening on Spotify. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really quick episode, just answering a few questions. And I will be back next week with makeup on, without my pajamas on. I will still be sitting on the floor. Next week with another episode of Through the Cubbyhole.